At your orders, master.
What have you done to her?
And for the first time since arriving on the island, my fear disappeared. And in that moment, I realized my nightmare was far from over. It was only changing shape.
We already agreed that you would buy your freedom, didn't we?
Even speaking had become difficult. We discussed it, but we never agreed on the price. It was horrifying to hear myself spoken about like an object, something to be bought and sold.
Naturally, your price must suit your value. Your freedom should cost as much as your life. Not too much. Only half your fortune. Sit down.
What's wrong, Mr. Adam? Do you believe you're not worth that much?
They weren't negotiating. They were waiting for resistance. He was a predator disguised as a businessman. I had dealt with ruthless men before. But this was a different kind of beast.
Your price of your freedom is half your fortune.
You have 1 day to decide.
And on that island, freedom was never given, only purchased. This was no business negotiation anymore. This deal was my life. I agree.
Good.
Very good.
But I have 2 conditions.
He hated hearing demands from someone beneath him.
And I know you won't reject them.
Why are you speaking with such confidence?
Because I know you won't refuse.
I was provoking a monster inside his own kingdom.
Then tell me your conditions.
First, you forget I ever saw this island. You, your men, everything. Second, Eve Richards leaves with me. That single sentence changed everything.
Interesting. You claimed you barely knew her.
I truly don't know her well. But I can't leave anyone trapped in a place like this. He didn't look convinced, and his silence frightened me more than anger. But I had no better answer.
We'll think about your conditions. You'll have our answer tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Did that mean another night in that hell?
Back to the cages.
Back to reality. They left me there until evening. At last, the slaves gathered for food. Breakfast at dawn, lunch near nightfall. That was all they received. They weren't eating. They were surviving. And for the first time, I ate beside them. My stomach turned instantly. He removed the bug and ate as if it changed nothing. I thanked him silently. And suddenly, I didn't know what frightened me more. The misery surrounding me, or the thought that Eve might be suffering somewhere nearby. Move! Eve wasn't there. I hadn't seen her once since arriving on the island, and the longer she remained missing, the more terrified I became. I tried not to imagine what they could be doing to her. And suddenly, I wanted out more than ever. But what if the master refused? What if we remained slaves forever? No. He wouldn't throw away half my fortune. He called himself a businessman. No, he wouldn't throw away half my fortune. But another thought haunted me. What if he released me and kept Eve? I looked around at those empty faces and finally made my choice. Then I noticed something else. No one spoke. No conversations. No whispers. Only labor. They weren't living anymore. They were machines built to work.
Adam and Eve would leave this island together at any price.
Wake up!
Morning returned. The servants woke me again. Oddly enough, I felt stronger. The ground was hard, the food disgusting, but my body had finally rested. And this time,
Let's move.
I was ready to face the Lords. I arranged every thought carefully. No matter what happened next, I would see Eve. And once again, I entered the lion's den. The mistress was gone.
Good morning, sir.
I called him sir on purpose, just to remind him he would never own me. He understood immediately.
You know, I like you. Even after the way you behaved yesterday. And I can see you still have the same intentions. I'm your master, servant.
So I gave him the face he understood best.
The face of a businessman.
I considered your demands.
And your answer?
I agree.
I already knew he would.
But I have one condition. First, would you like to see Eve?
That question caught me completely off guard, and instantly, he understood the truth. I had waited for this moment since the day I arrived.
So, you want to see her? Bring her in.
Then she appeared, and I barely recognized her. The island had destroyed her. Bruised, exhausted, broken. She didn't even realize I was there.
I am at your orders, Master.
You may approach. You heard the master.
Something inside me shattered.
What have you done to her?
And for the first time since arriving on the island, my fear disappeared completely.
So tell me, businessman, do you dare remain on Slavery Island for 100 days?
Was I supposed to sacrifice myself? For her? For anyone? Eve already knew what logic demanded. I should leave. And finally, I made my decision.
He enjoyed every second of our suffering.
You two will become my greatest treasures. I'll show the world that I possess the most valuable collectibles.